Hello, my people. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojuola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and today I want to talk about your emotions affecting your decisions. All right. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Never let an emotion make your decisions. Pause for a moment. A minute of clear thinking is worth more than a week of repairing a mistake made in anger, made in frustration, made in irritability. Never let an emotion make your decisions. Pause for a moment. A minute of clear thinking is worth more than a week of repairing a mistake made in anger. Sometimes it might even take a lifetime to repair a mistake made when your emotions are running rampant or running riot. So I want you to think about a time when you acted impulsively, driven by a surge of emotion. Maybe it's anger, frustration, fear, or even overwhelming excitement. Perhaps you sent an email you immediately regretted. You said something hurtful in the heat of the moment. You made a rash financial decision, or you quit a job without a plan. In those moments, it felt justified, perhaps even necessary. The emotion was so powerful, so compelling that it seemed to demand an immediate response. But what was the aftermath of that? More often than not, those emotionally charged decisions led to a cascade of negative consequences. They create messes that take significant time, energy, and emotional labor to clean up. And sometimes you won't be able to clean them up. They damage trust, erode relationships, and can set us back considerably on our path of purpose. See, the temporary satisfaction of an emotional outburst is quickly overshadowed by the long-term burden of its fallout. This is not to say that emotions are bad or that we should suppress them. No, emotions are vital. They are powerful signals. They are data. They are providing us valuable information about our internal state and our environment. They tell us what we care about, what we fear, and what brings us joy. But there is a critical distinction between feeling an emotion and allowing that emotion to dictate your actions, right, without the filter of conscious thought. See, when an emotion takes the driver's seat, it bypasses our rational, logical brain. It activates our primal fight or flight responses, narrowing our perspective and pushing us towards immediate, often short-sighted reactions. So in these moments, our capacity for clear thinking, for empathy, for foresight is severely diminished. We become slaves to our feelings rather than masters of our responses. So the mind shift we need to make is to create a conscious, intentional space between feeling an emotion and acting on it. It is about recognizing that while you cannot always control the emotions that arise, you absolutely can control your response to them. It is about understanding that a minute of clear thinking is worth more than a week of repairing a mistake made in anger. So let's break this down, why it is necessary to pause and have a moment of clear thinking, why it is so incredible. I think the first thing is it engages your prefrontal cortex, where your decision-making executive function is located. See, when emotions surge, your amygdala, the emotional center of your brain, goes into overdrive. And this can effectively hijack your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that is responsible for rational thought, for planning, for decision making, for impulse control. So taking a pause, even a brief pause, allows your prefrontal cortex to come back online. It gives your rational brain a chance to assess the situation, to consider the consequences of what you are about to do, and to formulate a more effective response to that. This particular shift from reactive to responsive thinking is fundamental to good judgment, and that is why it's critical to take a pause. It also provides perspective. as we discussed in previous episodes, right, a narrow perspective often leads to flawed judgment. Intense emotions tend to narrow our focus, and it makes the immediate situation seem like the only reality we have. So, a pause allows you to zoom out. It gives you the opportunity to ask, is this truly as catastrophic as it feels? What are the long-term implications of my potential actions? How might this look a week, a month, a year from now if I take this action? This broader perspective tempers the emotional intensity and allows for a more balanced assessment, and it also prevents irreversible damage. Many of the mistakes that we made in anger or other intense emotions are irreversible. Believe you me, they are. I'm still suffering from the consequences of one or two. So words spoken cannot be unspoken. Actions taken cannot be undone. A minute of clear thinking can prevent you from uttering those words, from sending that email or taking that action that you will spend days or weeks or even years trying to repair. The cost of a hasty emotional decision often far outweighs the effort of a brief pause. See, it also preserves relationships. Relationships are built on trust. They are built on respect. They are built on consistent, thoughtful interaction. Emotional outbursts, harsh words, or impulsive actions can quickly erode those foundations. So by pausing, you protect your relationship from the damage that can be inflicted by unchecked emotions. It shows that you value the relationship enough to manage your own reactions, developing a deeper trust and improving your understanding of the other person and they of you. It also helps reinforce self-control and autonomy. See, every time you successfully create that space between emotion and reaction, you strengthen your capacity for self-control. You demonstrate to yourself that you are not merely a puppet of your feelings, but a constant and conscious agent capable of choosing your own response. This reinforces your sense of autonomy and personal power. It builds confidence in your ability to move through challenging situations effectively. So, how do we develop this crucial habit of pausing and engaging clear thinking, especially when our emotions are running high? The first thing I will tell you this is you need to recognize your emotional triggers. You pay attention to the situations, to the words, to the behaviors that tend to provoke strong emotional responses in you. Awareness is the first step. When you feel that familiar surge of emotion, recognize it as a signal to pause or to simply walk away. Also, implement a physical pause. This can be as simple as taking 3 deep breaths or counting to 10 or 20. Just simple things like that. That's physical anchoring. The act of deep breathing physically calms your nervous system. It signals to your brain that you are not in immediate danger, and it allows your prefrontal cortex to re-engage with you. So you can also try stepping away from the situation, counting 10 to 20 like I said before, or literally splashing cold water on your face. Find a physical action that creates a break. And third, use a mental mantra or a question. When you feel an emotion rising, ask yourself, what is the wisest thing to do right now? Will this action serve my long-term goals, or is this truly urgent? This will redirect your mind from reactive emotion to thoughtful inquiry. I will also advise you to practice the 24-hour rule. For every significant decisions or responses, especially those made in anger or frustration, commit to waiting 24 hours before acting. 5. Cultivate emotional literacy. Learn to identify and name your emotions. That's just what I mean there. And learn to practice empathy too before reacting. Try to consider the situation from the other person's perspective. And finally, reflect on the past mistakes that you've made. Consciously recall times when you acted impulsively out of emotion and regretted it. What were the consequences? What did it cost you? Use these past experiences as powerful motivators to pause and to think clearly in the future. So, my fellow mind shifters, I challenge you today. The next time you feel a strong emotion urging you to act impulsively, pause